Hi, I'm Vicky. I am Russian. I live in Unley with my husband and with my two kids.
My name is Eva and I'm 11 years old. I live in Unley.
I was born in Russia and I had been living in Russia until I was 30 years old when I actually moved to Australia as a Russian family. Like my husband is Russian and I've got two Russian kids, so we just kind of took our Russian culture and brought it here. And so, for example, we don't celebrate Christmas on Christmas Day. My birthday is on Christmas Day, so we celebrate Christmas as my birthday, and then we celebrate a New Year as Australian people are celebrating their New Year. They gather with their families at the tables at like 11 p.m. and start like eating and drinking and talking and saying goodbye to the old year and remembering good stuff that happened to them in that year. When I was like 24 years old, I went to Brisbane for studying English and hospitality and tourism. And then I was young and like single, and I just fell in love with this beautiful country. And I decided that I want to live here. I want to live here with my future family or whatever the way is, but I have to be here. So I came back to Russia and then I just had my normal life. I had my job and I had my friends and stuff. But then I got married and I got Eva, and then I decided that I remembered that once I had a dream to go to Australia because that's a perfect country for raising your kids. It's just so you feel so free and like children are so happy here. So I decided that I want them to be in fresh air, in a beautiful nature, among friendly people. When your life is more or less stable and you know what's gonna happen tomorrow. So yeah, we decided to move all together. So we just had a long way of preparing and passing English exams and like having all these difficulties with Australian visas. We had this process for a couple of years, and then we were lucky to get the South Australian state sponsorships. I actually wanted to go to Queensland because I was there, so I knew what it was like there. But then South Australia gave us sponsorship, which helped us to gain our visa, and that's how we are here in Adelaide. Well, we were lucky enough to have friends here in Adelaide, and they told us that if we're with kids, we have to choose some particular suburbs because of schools. First of all, we were searching among suburbs around the city, and then we found this cute little apartment in Fullerton. So we lived for a year in Fullerton, and then we decided to move somewhere to a better place with to a better apartment. So we found this exactly unit in Unley, and as we moved there, we decided that it was the best decision in our in our Australian life. So that was so handy to live just across the road from school, and everything is so close and everything is so beautiful because we have been in other suburbs and we could compare what it looks like, and so we were really amazed with the beauty of this suburb, and it is so comfortable. It is so green and so clean, and everything is just you feel like at home. That really is. We spend a lot of time here with our family celebrating some some birthdays, or if, for example, something is happening at Eva's school, we're like, okay, let's go celebrate to La Scala. So that's a perfect place to come and just have a breakfast or a dinner or like celebrate something?
I celebrated my 11th birthday here with my friends.
Okay, so this is matryoshka. Matryoshka is a symbol of Russian culture. It represents the woman that has a lot of interesting inside her. So this one is with us since Eva was 3 years old, and then when we were moving to Australia, we decided to take it with us because it has very deep meaning, and it always stands on the shelf, and it always reminds us that where we come from, reminds our culture, reminds the beauty of our country, and the beauty of our women. We're very proud that we're Russian, and because it has a really, really rich culture. It is really important to keep your culture alive, because when you assimilate to some country, you have to keep all your roots, because you have to remember all the time remember who you are. Because when you don't know who you are, you're getting confused. But when you know where you come from, when you know your history, your culture, it helps you to identify yourself.
Like being multicultural.
So many cultures live in Australia, and they don't have to assimilate totally in Australia and to be Australian. That's actually why people love Australia. It doesn't deny your culture. You can learn so many things from one another. I know that moving to Australia was one of the best decisions I've ever made, because my children are happy and I am happy. My husband is happy, so we feel happy as our little family, just by ourselves. When I see happy faces of my children, I am like, I was right, and I made such a good thing that I moved here. I am so thankful to myself.
I remember that when I was like a little 5-year-old in the airport, I was like really excited to go somewhere else.
I think for us, for me and my husband, it was much harder to move here than for her, because she had her parents with her, so that's kind of her little world, and we had to say goodbye to, not like forever goodbye, but for a long time, to our parents, and so that was harder. But she was very happy. She feels. Sometimes we feel very homesick at this moment of time, and especially during COVID times when we could not visit our country. But she was kind of, I've got everything around me. I've got my parents, I've got my school, I've got my little brother, and she was kind of not that desperate. I think it's better to be here at this world situation, to be just apart from everything that's happening somewhere, and just look from the side and just be on a happy side of the world.
Do you feel like you are on the happy side of the world ever?
And I feel like Australia is another little part of the world, like another planet or something.
I think so too. I think that Australia is a little planet that is somewhere where we can have a look at the not very good things happening to the planet. So we kind of look from this side and just happy that we're here.